The Flower and the Plough is a debut pamphlet by Piercey and the first publication from the Emma Press. The Emma Press is a new, small, independent publisher founded, developed and single-handedly headed by Emma Wright. This first pamphlet comprises 12 poems with verse by Piercey and illustrations by Wright on the subject of love. The pamphlet is sweet, brief and light-hearted. Both the artists know that trying to be deep on a subject like love, unless your first name is William and your last name is Per, is very likely going to backfire. The poems come with attractive but somewhat cartoonish illustrations, and they employ images that are more playful than lofty, like that of a relationship between a bird and a crocodile. Piercey and Wright are both strong on the classics, and the influence shows. This was a refreshing turn for me, since everyone I speak to these days seems to have been influenced by the same English-speaking modern authors. Translations slash modernizations of Catullus, which, while not a particularly original idea in and of themselves, were nonetheless a real joy to read. Above all else, this pamphlet is the fruit of a collaboration between two close friends. The spontaneity of their relationship, the way they feel each other's work, has carried over wonderfully into the pamphlet. Ironically, the Flower and the Plough, which are classical images from Catullus, could refer here to the poet and the publisher. And it is this mix between classicism and ingenuity that gives the pamphlet its best moments. There's one piece of arrogant bullshit that I cannot stand to hear in a review, it's the phrase, "This poet can write, but she is too young." Rachel Piercey can write, but she's too young. Her poems are just what you'd expect from a fresh graduate in creative writing. They're confident with language, but as of yet, they don't do anything very original with it. The description of atavism in Family Tree, for instance, is nice, but has been done many times. It's also a weakness that, with the exception of the poem Make It Up to You, these poems do almost nothing to question or properly investigate the tradition of love poetry that informs them. On that subject, while the versions of Catullus are charming, they are a double-edged sword typical of using or quoting great poets in your work. You are inviting a comparison with them, which can be suicidal. You can't put your love poetry next to the love poetry of Catullus. It's like setting up the first gig for your garage band and inviting the Beatles to play a set. Who do you think is going to get laid on that night? Why, me, surely. While The Flower and the Plough displays most of the limits typical of a debut pamphlet, it more than makes up for them with sheer personality and charm. It is a booklet that communicates by more than just the words, and it would be truly mutilated if it were published in a different format or without the illustrations, which in turn, of course, have no life without the poems. The poetry is promising, not really memorable yet, but promising. But it works well in combination with every other element of the production to send a message. And while as a book of poetry it's promising, but no more so than, every other debut pamphlet out there these days, as an editorial debut, The Flower and the Plough is an amazing accomplishment. It has personality, style, and integrity. It understands that a book is not just an empty vehicle for its poems, but something that has its own form and meaning, and that the role of the editor is so much more than just editing. In brief, it makes a statement, and that's more than can be said for many books by bigger publishers out there. I don't know if the Emma Press is going to keep these standards with their next books, but at least for now, they've definitely gotten my attention, and they should have yours.